Hey guys, Chris here with the Blue Collar Success Group. I'm super excited to be coming back to be doing another vendor voice with you, driving super high value to your service business. And today we've got Jed on with Dexcomm. Jed, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Chris?
Good, man. I'm fantastic. Super excited to be talking about today's topic. We will talk a little bit about Dexcom, but for those that are wanting to find out what's this video about, 100% about call centers, after hours, and farming that stuff out, of which Dexcom is. Jay, why don't you do me a favor? Let's just introduce Dexcom, but then let's have a conversation about call centers.
Yeah, that sounds great. Short and sweet, Dexcom, we are a 24/7 live agent call center answering service, all of those things are very synonymous. You'll hear them all. That's who we are. Out of Karen Crow, Louisiana, which, if you're familiar with Louisiana, we're just north of Lafayette, Louisiana, as a slightly more well-known city. All of our agents are here. I'm actually in our facility right now as we speak. And just as the name would relay, we're 24/7, 365, all day, every day. We never close. We have agents working in-house around the clock to support inbound call traffic. I specify that we are traditionally and historically an inbound answering service.
So if I'm reading through the lines a little bit, Jed, it's not like you can use Dexcom to do outbound calling to put calls on the board. You guys are saying, hey, we know what we're good at.
Right.
We stick to that.
That's exactly right. And we hear the desire for us to do other things, and that's on our radar.
Yeah.
But that you've read that exactly right. And we know what we're good at, and we want to stick to that because that's where consistency, that's where quality comes in, is when we just stick to what we know and do well.
Yeah, for those that may either love this quote or point of reference or be mad at me for it, but not everybody can be a Travis Hunter, right? Not everybody can be a wide receiver and play
That's
cornerback and play special teams.
yeah,
Those are few and far between. So Dexcom's like, yep, we know that we're good on the inbound, but we're not trying to play on the other side as well. So maybe tell me
that's
a
right.
little bit about answering services in general. I mean, is this
Sure.
like an all in or is there like a partial? Tell me a little bit about that as well. Because I know there are some call centers that go, nope, this is how we operate and that's all that we do.
Yeah, sure. Number one, I've been a part of Dexcom, a part of the answering service industry for 9 years now. So I feel like I have a pretty decent grasp of what the perception is as a whole, which can easily admit, and sure this would be not new news to anyone, but it's not always positive, right? Oh, just kind of a commodity, kind of, oh yeah, I know plenty of answering services. I know exactly who you are too. And God knows maybe a lot of us have heard that in any of our given industries, right? Everyone tries to bunch us together, but we are 24/7 live answering service, and really what we advocate for beyond just the technical pieces of taking phone calls, processing information, relaying those messages in, is trying to add value to your company, help you reach your growth goals, right? Help you remain open even when your local team is unavailable. But outside of the business aspect of things, also too, there's a personal benefit, a personal value of having some work-life balance, finding some peace of mind, and knowing that your business can continue on without you. Not without you for days, without you while you take a nap, while you have dinner with your family, while you enjoy some of your own personal time and recharge your batteries. So, we want to add value to your business, but we want to also give back to you as a person, your team members, as people.
Jed, I'm going to go back. I tell this story often, and I know around the audiences that hear me tell it often. It was a defining moment for me in my business. And, I used to answer the phone after hours, and, that thing's constantly to your hip. And here's what I'm going to say. There was a level of animosity that was built into this thing because I hated carrying it, but I had to
Yeah,
carry it, right?
right.
I'll never forget. My wife got up or I had to get up in the middle of the night. It was probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and this was, back in 2015, 16. So it's been a little bit. Don't judge me for that, but I grabbed my phone and I grabbed the iPad and I ran to the bathroom where I could turn the lights on. Be in the bedroom, turn the lights on. My wife's waking up, and the phone alone. And that was a part of our life, right? It was
Hmm.
just what we did, and we didn't really, so I speak to contractors. It's the birthdays, it's the baseball, it's the dance recital, it's the graduation, it's the name it, fill in the blank.
Right.
She said to me the next morning when I woke up after I answered the phone, she said, "I love you, but this has to stop."
Yeah.
And she just enough was enough. And thank God for that statement because it forced me to start looking for better options. So
Yeah.
maybe tell me, Jed, are you guys full service only? Do you guys do full service nights, weekends, overflow? What are my options here?
Yeah, your options really run the gambit. Like like I've mentioned a few times now, we're 24/7. And so we have when we offer service, we are offering, our availability at all times.
Hmm.
When you decide to forward your phone number, when you decide to forward your business line is entirely up to you. We don't control your telephony. So we'll give you a forwarding number. We'll give you consider that forwarding number. You're out, right, from having to carry that phone around with you. And you point your business line, you point your on-call cell to the forwarding number we give you when it suits you best. And a lot of our customers will use us, of course, after hours, weeknights, weekends. But get a lot of rollover, and it gets to the point too where individuals begin to trust us more and more and more, and we become the front line even for office hours. So
Hmm.
it spans, but really it's entirely up to you and what you need.
Yeah. Good point, man. And was sitting here thinking for a smaller company where I'm the owner and I'm doing kitchen table presentations, nothing's more aggravating than trying to be in the middle of a kitchen table presentation and the business line is ringing. And that's twofold. The business
Right,
line was ringing. I can't answer it because I'm in the middle of a sale. And I know that I'm missing an opportunity because I can't get to the phone. So if I'm hearing
right.
you correctly, Jed, I can actually just be like, "Hey, I'm about to go in on this sales call right now. Let me just go ahead and forward that stuff to over to Dexcomm and have you guys take care of it while I'm on the sales appointment."
That's exactly right. And even if you didn't want it to be that kind of binary where you had to be either forwarding or not forwarding, telephony these days, anyone's provider will offer you conditional call forwarding processes where you wouldn't have to maybe make that, black and white decision where it's like I'm forwarding or not forwarding. It could ring. You could schedule it to ring a couple times on your end. And if you don't answer, or even if you click it to busy, then it would forward to us. So that way you could kind of carry that on in your day-to-day life without having to know, hey, I'm going into something or not, because not every time are you going to know that you're about to be busy.
Yeah, small business owners, I want you to hear what he just talked about. So no longer do I have to forward, unforward. I can literally see that it's a business number coming to my phone. I can hit the decline button or just simply not
Mhm.
answer. And if I'm hearing you correctly, I might say, "Hey, after three rings, after four rings, I want
Bingo.
that automatically to forward over to so that your team is on." So walk me through, Jed, what happens after the phone rings on your end? Is your team just taking a message and then calling people back? What's that process look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think traditionally, yes, right? Like no matter what our overall objective is, we're always going to gather a message. Like that's what we do at our core. That's the foundation of what we do is capture a phone call, make sure it doesn't go missed entirely, get the meat of what the caller needed, their first and last name, their phone number, their property address, if it's service related, why they're calling, what do they need, at that given time, and then make sure it gets into the hands of the people that can help them, whether that be the office staff the next business day or the on call that evening. And then, of course, we can go a little bit further than just taking a message. We can also, depending on the FSM, we have the ability to integrate and schedule and book into the system.
Oh,
So we can go a bit further than just that. But certainly, like you said, getting a message is key. And what that looks like on our agents end is, we have a complex system. It's not just a telephone, right? Sitting in front of them and they're sitting there picking up and putting it down. So when your unique forwarding number comes through our system and hits our agent screen that it's now assigned to, your unique script, your process, your call flow, your greeting phrase, all of that presents to our agent, and they're now working for you for those few minutes.
so Jed, I think it's worth having this conversation now, which is
Mm.
I'm a contractor. And Jed, I've done this before and it just doesn't work. It was a nightmare. What do you see as the reasons why things don't work when I'm using
Yeah.
an outside call center?
Yeah, there are plenty. There are plenty. And to start, it could easily be on the call center's end, right? Like to start there with ownership. We are far from perfect. I don't know about everyone else's teams out there, but my team is full of human beings,
Yeah.
and therefore we don't we don't get it right 100% of the time. But it's about the try, it's about the care, it's about the effort and willingness to improve that I think is what we hang our hat on, right? Versus being perfect.
Right.
But what I would say that a lot of the reasons why things are unsuccessful. One, assumptions. Assumptions are a terrible thing in what we do. We are in the communications space.
Mhm.
So to have a lack of communication, kind of this idea that I already know what you guys do, can and cannot do, how you operate. I've worked with multiple answering services before. Here's what I typically send them. Get me started. Well, hey, if it didn't work the last few times, why are we resending the same information and expecting different results? So,
Yeah.
and that's not to put the onus on the shop or the
Sure.
customer, but from our end, we want someone who thinks of us as a very necessary, very important, highly valuable vendor partner, right? And to be treated like that is to be engaged with, to make time for, to go back and forth, to be curious, to question, to tinker. That's what it takes. So to assume really does do what the phrase would end up having to do when you
Yeah.
assume. And so that would be one key thing for me that people need to focus and avoid is know that everyone's different and you need to engage and be curious about it.
Right. So I'm assuming you guys have a very thorough process of quote onboarding people to get them on, right? So ensure that, and this goes back to a statement that I've made before. You can't get mad about the results that you get from the hard work that you're not willing to do. So if I'm just like, it's just another call center, just set it up, just do it.
Yeah,
And I get really poor results. Well, it's a direct reflection of the setup potentially, right? It could
sure.
be the call center,
Yeah,
but certainly
yeah.
in some cases, and I've seen this firsthand, the call center did exactly what they could do with the information they had been provided because the business didn't help them get set up correctly. Like, hey,
Yeah,
here's how we handle this. Here's how we do this. And so when I see, quote, call centers drop the ball, it's not always the call center's fault. So having
I
some,
think
some
I think
partnership.
that's very fair, and that's really all we're asking for, right? And that's what we want. If you give us that at bat, you've now set us both up for the best chance of success because it's not like it's a us versus them type thing, right? We're literally we have the same goal for
Yeah.
both of us to be successful here in this marriage, in this relationship. So just so know that going in, and if you can, kind of remove that chip off the shoulder of like, I already kind of know how this is going to go
Mm.
and I don't have a lot of faith in it. So I'm not going to give a lot of time to it.
Sure.
Um, you know,
So,
think
so,
again.
so for contractors looking to get some time back,
Right.
obviously you guys are a great resource. A lot of other call centers out there, but maybe tell me a little bit about maybe an example of a success story that you've got, and I'm going to ask for specifically maybe around
Yeah.
our members as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll name someone that's near and dear to us, not only geographically but also via business relationship, and that's Stewart Services out
Okay.
of Metairie, Louisiana, Greater New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah.
We've been working with Stewart Services for oh man, maybe 3-4 years now,
Hmm.
and they will tell you that it took just what I said for us to get to. I call it cruising altitude. The ascent can often be very turbulent as you kind of drive up through the clouds and find smooth air. And it takes a lot of back and forth. It takes a lot of willingness, a lot of patience to get on the same page with things. And once you get there, then you find yourself in a 3, 4, 5 year relationship and realize that we're just a part of their business and how they do things, and all of their techs know our names and all their CSR team and DSR team and all the way up to Chris, the owner. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Knows exactly how to reach us and what we do for them. And that's where the magic happens. So the point of that success story would be that we were successful because they were a ideal team player. They were hungry, humble, smart. Like they were a willing participant to
Mhm.
make sure that our relationship was successful.
Man, you just painted it so eloquently, and I haven't really thought about this. Those that have ever flown a plane knows that sometimes when you take off and sometimes on the descent as well, you're going to
Yeah.
experience turbulence. But you hear the captain say like, "Hey, we're gonna up our speed, or we're gonna take another path. We're gonna find a good smooth cruising altitude." And I like what you
Mm,
just said there, cruising altitude. So
mm,
understanding that the takeoff, the process is like we all got to be vested in that. Make sure that we're all on the same page. We're stacking hands. And I said
right.
this, Jed. You're not a vendor at that point. You're an extension of my team. And so if I
Yeah.
wouldn't treat an extension of my team a certain way, then I got to be careful how I treat vendors. And I've always said that vendors are extensions of the team. Like I
Yeah.
got to treat them as so. Maybe tell me a little bit about some of the offerings that you guys do have for the
Yeah.
public. And by the way, before you mention, I will say for all of our blue collar members, remember that Dexcom is one of our valued vendor partners as a part of the vendor voice. This is all about education. This is not about getting people to necessarily sign up with Dexcom, but maybe tell me a little bit, Jed, about how would someone go about getting in contact with you that's not a blue collar member, and then we'll talk about blue collar members.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting off, visiting our website, www.dexcom, two M's, not the glucose company that I think a lot of people know have Super Bowl commercials and everything. www.dexcom, dexcom.com. You'll find my calendar link on there, my direct cell phone number, my direct email, or just use our contact form to learn more about what we can do for you. So,
Perfect. And so for all my blue collar members that are watching this, I want you to remember to get logged into the vault. You're going to find Jed's direct contact information,
yep.
email address, and telephone number to be able to access. And maybe American Express has already coined this, but I'm going to say this: membership does have its privileges, and so obviously the
Hmm.
relationship that we've established with you guys does come with some benefits as a part of what you guys do. Jed, is there anything else we haven't covered today that you want to cover off on before we bounce?
Uh, no, that, I mean, I think in the in the name of what we stand for, less is more. And
Hmm.
so keeping it simple is the always the best route. And so no, I would only just complicate things by continuing to talk. So I'll stick to what we want to do here and what we want to accomplish, and that's keep things simple, and that's going to get us, to where we want to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So small, medium, or large businesses, I would strongly encourage you that you take a look at what is the process of how we handle if you're looking to create some freedom or there's a gap in your business. I'm going to highly recommend that you reach out to the folks over at Dexcom, reach out to Jed, help him to understand what your challenges are so that they can help you to overcome that. But as we're starting to wrap the vendor voice here, we would never have a vendor voice without a fun facts finale. And so, Jed, this is
Mm,
the part where I'm going to put you on the spot with some questions of
okay.
which we have not discussed, and I hope that I don't embarrass you.
Oh.
Not my purpose to embarrass, but just for those to get a little entertainment and get to know who Jed is. All right.
Mm,
So first, if you could master any skill instantly, what would be
mm.
that skill?
Uh, Languages, speaking different languages, easy.
Okay. All right. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh man. At first, I would lean country, but I think instead, uh, probably something by Queen. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely something anthem. I want people
Okay.
getting involved. I want some hands clapping,
Oh
and
yeah. So you got to get the crowd involved. You got to get some crowd
oh,
involvement when you got the karaoke. So
definitely not
okay.
too lyric heavy either.
Yeah. What's the most random thing on your bucket list?
Oh, most random thing on my bucket list. What feels pretty random? This just came to my brain. So I think that there's a Buffalo Wing Festival or something in Buffalo, New York. And for some reason, when you asked me that question, it's the first thing that came to my mind, having heard of that back when I was like, in college. And I love wings. So I would love to go all the way up to Buffalo from Louisiana just for that. Why not?
Okay, okay, Jed. Now you're playing into where I want to go. What's the weirdest flavor of wing you've ever ate?
Oh, weirdest flavor of wing? Probably something I put together poorly on my own. I don't know. Probably just something just poorly seasoned. It's probably
Okay.
not an odd flavor, just a
Here you
poorly
go, Jed.
seasoned.
I'm going to give it to
Yeah.
you, and for all the audience watching, you ready? I
Uh,
stole this
yeah.
from a restaurant, and then I kind of put my flavor on it, my spin on it, but a peanut butter and jelly wing, and so it's peanut butter,
Oh,
jelly, honey, and a small amount of chocolate syrup. Sounds weird.
oh.
It's one of
I'd
those
eat
you got
it.
to try it before you go.
A flat or a drum?
Oh, either way, it's gonna
Okay.
work. I promise it's gonna work. And then I'm gonna ask this last one. If your life was a documentary,
Hmm.
who would you choose to play your role?
Oh man. If my life was a documentary, who would I choose to play my role? I would choose, I don't know, James Franco.
Oh, here we go. All right, great. You know what? That one stumps people all the time. They
Oh
don't think.
yeah. I
And
was
some of
leaning maybe Denzel, but then I'm going James.
oh, well, listen, Jed, I'm going to say this. You wouldn't believe how many times Denzel comes up, and the reason
I'm glad I went
behind
James
it's simply because I think he's just such a
because he's the man.
prolific. He can just do
Yeah.
any role, right? It's like he could
Yeah.
probably do in my life. Yeah, sure, he could do it service. Jed, listen, thank you so much, man, and thank you all for tuning in to another Vendor Voice. Jed, thank you and Dexcomm for your time today. For those that are watching, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for additional videos just like this and other valuable information specifically for home service business. Jed, you take care and you be well.
You too, Chris. Thanks.
My friend, thank you for taking an opportunity to watch the video and engaging and subscribing with us. We're super excited to have you following us. If you could do us a favor and visit our website at www.thebluecollarsuccessgroup.com for more information about how we can help you build and grow your business. Remember this, you're either winning or you're learning.